Viewmasters, it's the podcast that we do. Viewmasters, talk about movies that we view. Viewmasters, my friend Eric and me, Joe. Viewmasters, hey, let's start the show.
Hey, welcome to the Viewmasters, episode 307, The Adventures of Tintin. My name is Eric.
My name is Joe.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Eric.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to you.
I usually like to bank episodes in advance, so this will probably hit after the New Year.
Sure, that makes sense.
So, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays. Sorry, should have been more politically correct there.
Whatever.
Don't want to get canceled. It's fine, you can cancel me.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Exactly.
Happy holidays.
Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair to say 2022 sucked for both of us.
Holy shit. That is the understatement of the century, sir.
So hopefully we both have a slightly better 2023.
Hopefully.
So yeah, we're back from our hiatus. We won't get into too many details, but if you follow either of us on social media, you can figure out what happened to both of us.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've shared all of the details pretty much.
Yeah.
So, look me up.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So we're back, and we don't know how to do this still.
Yeah, if we didn't know how to do it when we were doing it consistently every week, trying to do it again after a month's break... months long, multiple months break.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's going to be much better than usual.
Probably not.
It might be. Who knows? We might be coming into it with fresh legs.
True. Well,
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Shit.
It's okay. It's been since August, I think, since we last recorded.
Yeah.
Stuff happened, but we're back.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to some new listeners.
Okay.
That I know that we have.
Oh.
Mom and Dad, hi. I hope you're enjoying that. Sorry about the swears already.
They're mostly from me.
No, I have sworn multiple times since we started. And I will swear multiple times, I'm sure, before we're done.
This is why I don't tell my parents I do anything.
They asked me specifically. They asked me, it was really cute. They were like, how do you listen to podcasts? Like, how do you find that? They just got newer iPhones, okay. So I've been teaching them how to do iPhone things. And one of those was the podcast app.
All right.
So, yeah.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Grunewald?
Yeah, Bill and Marilyn.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
I hope this is not too awful for you.
You really don't have to listen to this. I promise. You're not missing anything.
Not a bit. That goes for all of our listeners.
No, okay.
I remember when Jason and I were doing Greta Trash regularly, my dad once asked me, he's like, so I was just looking on the internet and I found this thing that you do with Jason online. What is that? And so I kind of had to explain, what podcasts were.
Yeah.
And then, just sort of what we do. And then I realized that my dad found it on the week that we had just put up an episode for a horror movie called From Beyond.
Okay.
Which is like one of the wettest, horniest, skeeviest movies that has ever been made.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, Jesus, my dad is going to listen to this.
I mean, was the episode that you recorded also very wet and horny and skeevy? Sorry, Mom and Dad.
I mean, it's me and Jason,
yeah.
so... sure we went to levels.
Oh boy.
But one movie that is not wet, well, I guess it is kind of wet.
It's pretty wet. A lot of it takes place at sea.
Yeah. But it's not horny or skeevy.
No.
It is, I believe, generally for children.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all ages friendly.
Definitely. Yeah.
And our first Spielberg?
Yeah, I didn't realize this was a Spielberg movie.
Really?
Yeah, I think I assumed that this was a Robert Zemeckis joint, since it's that sort of CG, not quite alive animation. But yeah, The Adventures of Tintin.
Yeah, based on an old comic.
Yes, old comic by Hergé.
I believe it's Herge.
Is it Herge? Okay, well, fuck me.
And also is in France, Belgium, whatever.
Yeah.
Pronounced Tintin.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Like 10-10-3-2-1? My favorite means of calling collect? Friends, if you need to make a collect phone call, I cannot recommend highly enough Tintin 321. It's the best way to call collect with the cheapest rates. No hassle. Money back guarantee. Tintin 321.
Wow.
Why are these things in my brain? What valuable information has been crowded out of my brain and replaced by 10-10-3-2-1?
That's I can't answer that. Oh boy, I would never have remembered that in a million years.
That's what I bring to this party.
Wow. Oh boy, I'm flabbergasted now.
Yeah. Tintin.
Tintin. Yeah, Steven Spielberg. Although, for some reason, I thought it was co-directed between him and Peter Jackson.
Yeah, I saw Peter Jackson's name in the producer credits. Maybe he was attached to direct it at some point.
So I think what it is, if I remember correctly, so Spielberg had been wanting to make a Tintin movie since like the early 80s.
Okay.
He gained the rights to make one after Herge died.
Okay.
And they were both fans of each other. And then Herge always said that Spielberg was like the only filmmaker who would be able to make a Tintin movie.
Okay.
And then he just kept putting it off because he's always got like 39 projects in the works.
Right. Yeah.
Do you remember a Robo Apocalypse?
No. Was that a Steven Spielberg thing?
Yep.
What?
He was going to make a movie about the robot apocalypse.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. And so, yeah, he just kept putting it off, and then I guess kept renewing the rights. Started or wanted to start filming in 2007 and had decided on doing live action.
Okay.
But wanted to make Snowy, the dog, a digital creation.
Oh, no. Okay.
And had contacted Peter Jackson to see if Weta would be able to build one.
Sure. Okay.
And then I guess he and Peter Jackson started talking, and Jackson convinced him to do it in motion capture.
Okay.
Since he had just done Lord of the Rings and King Kong.
Yeah.
So they actually filmed like a sequence with Andy Serkis and Peter Jackson.
Okay.
And then, I had way to build like a 20-minute demo reel. And then Spielberg decided then that that's the way he was going to go with it.
Okay.
And I feel like they had sort of made a deal with each other that like they would alternate sequels.
Okay.
So Spielberg gets Tintin, Jackson would get the part 2, and then Spielberg part 3, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure.
And as far as I know, that is still the case.
Okay.
It has been 11 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine this movie was cheap to make.
No. I did glance at the Wikipedia before we started. I think it cost like $175 million.
Okay.
It made like almost $400 million.
Okay.
So it was successful.
All right.
But yeah, what the hell has Peter Jackson been doing?
Well, he did those great Hobbit movies.
Yeah, I guess he did. I never saw them.
Yeah, I think we watched the two of them,
Okay.
the first two. I don't know why.
And just bailed on part 3.
Didn't like the first one, really. Don't know why we went back for the second one, but it was even worse. And have never looked back.
Did you like Lord of the Rings?
Very much so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I enjoyed those as well. I think we've talked about it before. They're definitely not my type of movie. But
Yeah.
I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I remember I didn't like the first one the first time I saw it, and then when I watched it at home, I really got into it. And then, saw the other ones and really loved those too.
I think my initial reaction to the first one was that I liked it, but I hated the ending because it just...
Because it's not an ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's the deal with both of them.
Gotcha.
And as far as I know, I guess he's still planning on doing it eventually.
All right. That works.
There's a podcast I listened to, Blank Check, over the last year. I listened to like all the episodes, and I forget what movie they were talking about, but they actually had Jamie Bell on as a guest.
Oh, nice.
And they got him to talk a little bit about Adventures of Tintin, and he said that he's absolutely available for another sequel because no matter how old he gets, he can still do them.
Yeah.
Of course, then he also said, within limits.
Right.
But he said he greatly enjoyed making the first one. So he's on board.
All right.
So I guess let's talk about...
Can we talk about the screenplay real fast?
Sure, absolutely.
I recognize two of the names that I recall anyway, and then I don't remember the third name, but Stephen Moffat and Edgar Wright credited screenwriters on this movie.
The third was Joe Cornish.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Who has worked with Edgar Wright previously
on
other things, I think, and also wrote and directed Attack the Block.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Did a little reading on that. Basically, they hired Stephen Moffat to write the script, and he initially refused. They had hired Edgar Wright to write the script.
Okay.
But he was busy, so he suggested Stephen Moffat.
Okay.
Stephen Moffat refused, and then Spielberg just started harassing him, I guess.
What, are you too busy
Yeah.
with Doctor Who?
He hadn't gotten Doctor Who yet.
Oh, he hadn't yet at that point. Okay.
But he started working on it. I guess he did like a first draft, but couldn't do any more because he got Doctor Who.
Okay.
And both Spielberg and Peter Jackson, being Doctor Who fans, said, please go do Doctor Who. They got Edgar Wright back, and he brought along Joe Cornish.
Okay.
Then Edgar Wright stepped away so that he could go write and direct a little movie called Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Oh, nice. All right.
And
I've heard of that one.
Yeah. And Joe Cornish finished it up.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the Stephen Moffat fingerprints are all over it since there's no women in this movie.
There's one woman.
There's barely a woman. There's half a woman in this movie.
She is a plot device.
Yeah. Stephen Moffat. No, I mean, I imagine that part of that is source material. but
Probably.
also update that stuff, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Just speaking of source material, have you ever read a Tintin book?
I have read 0 Tintin books.
Same.
Yeah. I want to read some now.
Yeah?
If the tone of this movie is indicative of what the tone of the comics is, I would love to read some.
I'd definitely be interested. I know there's one that's like apparently super racist.
I'm aware of that one as well, yeah.
But otherwise, I would be on board to read one. If only I had a comic book review podcast. So I went into this knowing absolutely nothing outside of just the vagaries of what it is and who it was by and what it looks like.
Yeah.
And I can tell you what it does not look like, and that is creepy 3D people.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about the animation.
Okay.
Are you gonna do human-like, or are you gonna do animated?
Right.
You can't do both at once.
No.
Pick a lane. Because, you got Tintin running around with his human face.
Yep.
You got a couple other characters. I think Saccharine has a more or less human face.
Yeah.
And then you got Thompson and Thompson and the captain and a whole bunch of other people that just look like cartoon characters.
Yep.
It's real weird. It
is real weird. And they've all got creepily human eyes.
Yeah.
Which I guess kind of works on characters like Tintin, but absolutely does not work on, like Captain Haddock or the Thompson twins.
Yeah. I don't think they're twins. I understood that reference, though.
Are they clones?
Their names are spelled differently, so I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. That is a joke that would not have worked without closed captioning on.
Nope.
Because and then they talk about it later, and you would just have no idea what they're talking about.
Yep.
You have to know the source material, I guess, in order to get that.
Yeah. I remember this movie coming out and me just avoiding it because of how it looked.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't want to watch this. It looks creepy.
Yeah.
And then my mom had spinal surgery in 2011 and she wasn't exactly laid up, but she was not allowed to do a lot at first.
Sure.
And so for the first couple of weeks, I was helping my dad basically try to take care of her. And part of that was running to the video store and renting lots of movies. And I remember Adventures of Tintin being a movie that I picked for us to watch. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Even in this watch through, the disparity between character styles, because it's not even animation style. It's just the way the characters look.
Yeah.
It still threw me occasionally. It would take me out a little bit. But I was mostly able to get over it fairly quickly and just really enjoy the story.
The story is great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically an Indiana Jones movie.
Pretty much.
Which is awesome.
Yep. Maybe instead of doing elderly Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, we just do, motion capture animated Indiana Jones.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, I assume at the end of the next one that Phoebe Waller-Bridge becomes the new Indiana Jones.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Is she in it?
She is in it, yeah.
Okay.
It's months later, but they released the first trailer for that movie today. And it got me. It looks pretty fun.
All right. it's an unpopular opinion, but I liked Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since it was out in theaters, so maybe I need to revisit that one.
I saw it opening weekend, and I was enjoying it anyway, but it was a packed theater, which famously I don't handle very well.
Right.
But and there was kids nearby me, which also I don't handle very well.
Right.
But there was a point where Indy does something in the movie, and these kids started cheering and clapping.
Aww.
And that was just oh yeah, this is great.
This is cinema.
Yeah. And sure, it has its problems, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
But I enjoy that movie.
Yeah. All right.
I put it this way: it is no better or worse than any of the other Indiana Jones movies.
All right. I think it's worse than Last Crusade, but okay.
To each their own.
But yeah, that's I got real Indiana Jones vibes from this, especially it's directed by Spielberg, score by John Williams,
right.
So it just felt very just like an old school adventure movie, which was awesome.
It takes place in sort of a nebulous 1930s, 40s, era.
Yeah.
Never really fully say what era it's set in.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, they just didn't change it from the comics.
I would assume that as well, yeah.
But during the scene in the Moroccan desert and then the city that they go to.
Yeah.
I just had real hardcore indie vibes through that, especially the chase scene. And
the chase scene was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like when I'm watching something that's a long take and there comes a point where I realize that it's a long take and then I'm just sort of how are they doing this? How long is this going to last? And I know it's an animated movie, so
right.
Long takes are less impressive because they're just animating stuff.
Right.
But it's still super cool.
I mean, there are bad ways that it could be done.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
And I mean, it is animated, so they can probably just keep going forever. It can be the longest take ever.
What if they did the whole movie as one take? The animated version of 1917.
It'd be pretty great.
That would be awesome.
It'd be pretty weird when they're sitting on a boat for hours doing nothing. But...
Luck.
There's a lot of traveling in this movie.
Yeah, there is.
It's a globe-trotting adventure movie.
Yeah.
Featuring a Jimmy Olsen-esque reporter and a drunkard.
So who came first, Tintin or Billy Batson? Legitimate question.
I know it is. You know how I know it is? Because I also thought Billy Batson threw out.
I always thought it was weird that he was a kid reporter.
Right? Although Tintin, seems to live alone in an apartment and has a gun.
Where are his parents? This child is getting shot at and carrying a gun and lives on his own with his dog.
Yep.
Where are his parents?
In an impressive apartment, I should have.
Definitely. Yeah. I don't know what he's getting paid for the reporting that he's doing.
I mean, he is risking his life, apparently, so probably not enough.
He is like Jimmy Olsen in that he is the only one that's keeping his newspaper afloat. So they just pay him whatever. So he can go out and get stories.
Oh, I miss that series.
I know, me too. But yeah, I didn't spend too long thinking about what his home life was like, because it really doesn't matter.
Nope. Apparently he's got a landlady who is very protective of him.
Yeah.
But also has kind of had enough of his bullshit, too.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. Yeah, I like I like that we're coming in late to his adventures, that it's not like an origin story or something.
I'd probably hate this movie if it was an origin story.
I don't know what a Tintin origin story looks like,
right,
unless it's about the tragic death of his parents and how he adopts Snowy and blah, blah, blah.
I mean, okay, I could handle a Snowy adoption story.
I would handle a Snowy solo movie.
That, too.
That dog is the real star of this movie.
Yeah, at times, this is kind of almost a Snowy solo movie. He is definitely the real hero of the movie, for sure.
Yeah.
He is probably the only character in the movie with full awareness of what is happening around him.
Yeah. Yeah, even Tintin a lot of the times is just sort of oblivious to things.
He is just stumbling into everything.
Yeah.
Snowy knows what's going on.
Yeah. And he's cute.
He is adorable.
I learned that the fur on a dog's face, like around their muzzle and stuff that looks like a beard sometimes, is called furnishings.
Okay.
And Snowy has very cute furnishings.
Yes, he does. I did not know that.
Yeah. My brother and his wife and his family got a dog who has a lot of long hair on her muzzle.
Aww.
And I guess the groomer told them those are called furnishings.
All right. Brain wrinkle.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, 10-10-3-2-1. Trigonometry gone.
When were you ever going to use it?
That's true. I realized as I said it. I don't care what a cosine is.
I mean, you're a writer and editor.
Right.
There's no math involved.
No, you're right, yeah.
Very little math
Very little math involved.
Sorry to keep sidetracking, but that's what we do here.
Math?
No.
Sidetracking.
Sidetracking.
Yeah. No apologies. Never apologize.
I was at my parents' house on Tuesday, which was Giving Tuesday.
Yes.
And my dad was watching the news, and they had various stories about different charities around the area that you can donate to, and one of them was for a place that trains assistant dogs.
Yeah, is it 4 Paws for Ability?
That's it. Yeah.
Yes. Shout out to them.
And they kept showing a couple of the dogs that they were training, and they looked like labradoodles, and they were all adorable. But they also kept showing just one pure golden retriever who just was fucking adorable. But at one point they're showing footage of the golden retriever just flopping around on its back and just being playful and being loved, and the voiceover is some dogs just fail. I was what a dig.
Right. If that's failure, I don't want to succeed.
Right?
How were that dog's furnishings?
They were adorable.
Okay, good to know.
And then I was telling my lady friend about this yesterday, and she knows a few people who have fostered a couple of the dogs that come from there, and apparently if they fail out of the class, then they'll let the fosters adopt the dog.
Yeah.
And she was like, I want to do that, and then I want that dog to fail. What is the incentive for me?
I know, bring the dog home and just teach it the worst habits possible.
Right.
You're only with them for an hour. You're with me for 6.5 days.
But anyway, dogs are neat.
Dogs are great. Snowy is the best good boy.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
The other dog in the movie is also a pretty good boy too.
Very good boy. Very cute. Yeah.
This is just it's a delight of a movie.
It's super fun. Yeah. I didn't expect anything heavy.
Right.
I did not get anything heavy, which is perfect.
Right.
It's just a really fun adventure story. Yeah. Good time, yeah.
It's just maybe it's a little long. I'm not sure, but also I've been very tired. And, was having some issues.
I was gonna say, do you want to play our favorite game? Did you fall asleep during this movie?
I did not.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No, yeah.
I could have sworn I looked over and you were asleep at one point.
No. Yawned a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had some other issues happening during the movie too.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. So no, I did not fall asleep, but it's also harder to fall asleep when you're actually here.
That's true. No judgment. Do what you got to do. I've fallen asleep here while we've watched stuff.
That is true. But if we had done this over Skype, then there would have been nothing to stop me from just pausing it,
right,
and taking a nap, and then picking it back up later, which I probably would have done, especially when the cat was curled up on me.
Yeah.
Which is probably also part of why I kept yawning, because he was cuddly.
Yeah.
It's a fun distraction.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's not heavy, it's not dark.
Andy Serkis is great.
Yeah.
Jamie Bell, I don't know that I've seen him in other stuff.
You have not seen Fan Four Stick?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Good.
Yeah, okay. I did, the whole time, though, I was like, how did they animate Tom Holland into this movie? Because he just looks like Tom Holland.
So, with some of the characters, clearly they've taken the base of like the comics.
Yeah.
They did not do that with Tintin at all.
Yeah.
Because Tintin has a very distinct look in the comics, and they even show it in the movie.
Right.
Before we even see his face, we see comic book version of Tintin.
I don't know how they would have done that. Like, it would have been terrifying.
It would have been, yes.
His empty eyes.
Yep. So while I was looking on Wikipedia, Jamie Bell was the second actor who was chosen to play Tintin.
Okay.
The first actor, when Spielberg first started filming this, or was going to, who was originally cast. I can't even remember the actor's name, but I clicked on him and looked at a picture of him, and I was like, oh, that's Tintin.
Aw. That's a bummer for that guy.
Right? So I was like, they had already had the model built and just couldn't go back? I mean, not I guess a little bit at times, I could kind of see Daniel Craig within the villain's eyes, at least.
Yeah.
But Tintin, just unrecognizable as a human being.
Sorry.
No, yeah. Go ahead.
Mostly, I thought that Sakharine looked like Steven Spielberg.
See, I thought the Sheikh.
Okay.
Looked exactly like him. He
okay.
had the round glasses.
Yeah. That's that's closer.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you putting yourself in your movies?
Right?
Multiple times.
Well,
Alfred Hitchcock.
Right? Now he's got a movie about himself.
Yeah, jeez.
I've heard it's great.
I've heard it's super good too, yeah.
I'd like to see it. What is your relationship with Steven Spielberg?
I don't know him personally.
I mean, but
I
you did commit crimes together.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde style. No, I enjoy his work.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that I am. I don't necessarily I'm going to go see the new Steven Spielberg movie.
Right.
But the movies that he has made that I have seen, I have generally really enjoyed.
All right.
How about you?
I definitely went through a phase, my pretentious asshole phase.
Sure.
Where it was just like, Steven Spielberg is kind of the worst. He's just, mass marketed white bread for people, making movies. Just middle of the road, just plain ham and cheese.
Right.
And I have definitely softened on that over the last couple of years. Obviously, I saw, a lot of the classics, as a kid. Although I had never seen Jaws up until 3 years ago.
Yeah. That's one I missed as a younger lad as well.
And I watched it and I was like, hey, this is a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Turns out.
I thought it was kind of slow.
At times.
But otherwise, good performances.
Yeah. I'm a horror guy and then not much scares me. And there's a genuine scare in that movie.
Yeah.
I jumped. He did Arachnophobia, right?
Maybe he produced that one. I don't think he directed that.
Okay. That's very possible. But I feel like that one was also another one where I jumped a lot during that, but that's just because I fucking hate spiders.
Right.
And I had not seen I'd seen Temple of Doom and Last Crusade and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But I had never seen Raiders.
Oh, wow.
Up until 7 years ago.
Wow.
Which I wound up seeing with our pal Matt Brassfield.
Okay.
At Englewood Cinemas.
Wow. Nice.
And yeah, so I had seen quite a few of those, and of course, yeah, I guess he was just more influential in the 80s. He produced a lot of stuff that I wound up loving, as a kid, but did not actually direct. But the stuff he did direct, hit or miss, I guess.
Sure.
But weirdly, I think the one that turned it around for me that was just okay, I gotta give him more credit than I had been, was when I watched AI last year, and it was incredibly good. Yeah. Which just, I don't know, I guess I heard a lot of bad things about it throughout the years. And it was just so, definitely not a movie I would recommend to you.
I've seen AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that in the theater when that came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, I wouldn't rewatch it if I were you.
Sure, yeah. No, it's a fucking bummer.
Yeah. Truly is. And yeah, I think that's what it's okay, I gotta give him credit where it's due.
Yeah.
And so I've been a little more open about, his work. And then I've still just, there's stuff I've never seen, mostly just, I guess, his dramas.
Yeah, I was going to say that I think maybe my favorite of his movies is Munich.
I've not seen it.
It's so good.
No.
It's so good, yeah.
Yeah, I've not seen that. I've not seen The Color Purple or did he do Bridge of Spies? Or
I think he did do Bridge of Spies.
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. Never
Schindler's
saw
List.
That. Yep.
Jurassic Park. Also, similar vein drama.
Oddly, you mentioned Jurassic Park, and that is, I think, what I point to the most when I think negatively about him.
Really?
Mostly for the fact that, like, I saw it in the theaters when it came out, 1993 or whatever that was, and it is a technical marvel, and it is hard to believe that movie came out back then, and there are movies being made now that look worse than it.
Yeah.
But then, like, when I saw it on video, because my mom rented it so my dad could watch it because he didn't go to movie theaters. Like, watching it at home, like on a smaller screen without the surround sound, just really made it disappointing.
I can see it being underwhelming at home.
Yeah. And I think that's when I started noticing, like, all the sort of flaws of it, I guess.
Gotcha.
And I had also read the book by that point, too, so, snotty fucking 14-year-old me was just like, well, the book is better.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
he does good stuff.
He does do good stuff.
Yeah,
I do really want to see the Fablemans for sure.
Yeah.
And, hopefully eventually Tintin 2, whether he or Peter Jackson makes it.
That'd be awesome.
I'd like to see Peter Jackson do something again.
Yeah, I have no idea what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
Maybe he's doing pre-production on Tintin 2.
I mean, if not, he should be doing pre-production on Dead Alive 2.
Yeah.
If Sam Raimi can occasionally make the return to horror, so can Peter Jackson. God damn it.
That's fair.
Maybe he's going to do a remake of Bad Taste. These are just things that I wish Peter Jackson would do.
You have lost me completely.
It's one of his first movies.
I figured.
There is a nice nod to Peter Jackson in the script when Tintin and Snowy escape from their cell on the ship. And first meet Captain Haddock.
Yeah.
Snowy jumps on him while he's sort of passed out in a drunken stupor, and he yells out that it's a giant Sumatran rat, and that is a hint to Dead Alive.
Oh wow! Okay.
Or Brain Dead, or whatever you prefer to call it.
Nice.
The entire plot of that movie hinges on a giant Sumatran rat monkey.
Okay.
Who attacks a woman and gives her a virus that turns her into a zombie, and then zombie outbreak per usual as those things go.
Sure, naturally. Okay.
But it's also one of the most disgusting and bloody movies ever made. And I love it.
All right. Oh boy. So yeah,
Tintin, highly recommended.
Definitely, yeah. I would. I could totally see myself just watching this on a Saturday afternoon, just hanging out at home.
Yeah,
it's a great, just fun movie.
Yeah, like it's got action and adventure. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
it's got a cute dog. What else do you want?
Women.
Oh yeah,
female characters.
Sure.
Yeah, if I have a complaint about this, it's a Jenny complaint. It's that there are no women in this movie.
What would a woman even do in this movie?
Oh man, a woman could be an Interpol agent.
Oh yeah,
a woman could be one of the villains.
I will,
etc.
I don't. Because, it had been 11 years or whatever since I'd last seen this. When Haddock is having his sort of flashback in the desert to his ancestor fighting the pirates before we see Red Rackham. I thought, that's going to turn out to be a woman.
I thought that as well.
It did not.
It was not. Maybe next time.
Yeah. Maybe Peter Jackson will throw some women in there.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Binder's full of women. Is anything making you happy this week, Eric?
The return of this podcast.
Yeah. That is nice.
Other than that, no, not really.
All right.
Yeah.
We took a field trip earlier this week.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We went to the movies.
That's right. That is a thing that made me happy.
We saw Glass Onion.
Yeah.
Knives Out 2. I guess. Not really.
Yeah.
The new Benoit Blanc mystery.
I mean, I guess Rian Johnson really painted himself into a corner, calling the first one Knives Out. It sort of feels like even before seeing Glass Onion, I kept thinking about the Pink Panther movies.
Yeah.
And how the first one is called Pink Panther, and it's basically, they all feature Inspector Clouseau.
Yeah.
And the second one is called A Shot in the Dark, and I don't know if that one just didn't do as well as the Pink Panther, but every single one of them after that is some sort of iteration of the Pink Panther.
Yeah.
Like Pink Panther Strikes Again, Returns, blah, blah, blah. And so I feel like this movie is just called Glass Onion, I think.
Yeah. But
people are throwing a Knives Out mystery at the end of it.
Right.
To sort of just hey, remember that movie you liked?
It's funny, the sort of similar situation with the Thin Man movies.
Yeah.
The first one is just called The Thin Man, and, neither Nick nor Charles is the Thin Man.
Right.
It's about a character who is a thin man that they're all looking for, and then all the other ones are just another thin man, after the Thin Man, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Son of the Thin Man. Bride of Thin Man.
Because, even... So I had texted you to see if you wanted to hang out last week before Thanksgiving, and you were busy, and you texted me back to ask if I wanted to see Glass Onion with you. And rather than just text you back, what the fuck is that? I decided to look it up and said to myself, what the fuck is a Glass Onion?
Right.
And when I saw what it was, enthusiastically, I wanted to go see it. But
right.
I had no idea. Maybe a year ago or so, I knew that that's what it was going to be called, but it never stuck with me, and I had no idea that it was coming to theaters at all. I think I had last heard that it was going to Netflix. And just wrote it off at that.
Yeah.
And sadly, as much as I loved Knives Out, it going directly to Netflix, I probably never would have watched Glass Onion on Netflix.
Sure.
Just because everything that goes to Netflix is just instantly forgettable.
Yeah. Yeah. Stuff goes on Netflix and then just disappears.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you mentioned it, and I'm glad that they decided to put it out in theaters for a week.
Right, yeah.
For some unfathomable reason.
I feel like it's just so they can get Oscar nominations.
Okay.
Because movies are not eligible for Academy Awards if they're not theatrically released.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure that's all it is, but I don't know. Could be something else.
But, it seems to be doing well.
Yeah.
And they should probably just release it to theaters.
They probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big thing I'm worried about is that there's not going to be a Blu-ray of it. I
know, yeah. No, I would like to own this movie for sure.
Yeah. I already own the first one. I'd like to, I'm a collector at heart.
Right, yeah. I like the ads for the Marvel movies when they come to video that are complete your Marvel collection. They know who they're talking to.
Yeah. Well, guess what, Marvel? I'm still never buying the Eternals. Ever.
If someone else bought me the Eternals, that'd be okay. Or if I found it for $5.
Not even then.
Wow, okay.
Given to me, maybe I'd keep it. I'd probably just turn around and sell it.
I have to complete my collection.
I will say I bought Thor: Love and Thunder on Blu-ray a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
And it had the slipcover. And normally, like, I don't care about the slipcovers.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you know, Thor Ragnarok, I still have the slipcover on that one.
Yeah.
But this one had like a big ass Walmart sticker right on front of it, and it was not one of those easy peel labels. And as soon as it tore and left residue, I was just like, okay, I'm done.
That sucks.
I had to throw it away. Which, like, I know people go crazy for slipcovers.
Yeah.
And, like, will sell them separately on eBay for insane amounts of money.
Yeah.
For a piece of cardboard.
I wonder if there's a black market for counterfeit slipcovers. I feel like there has to be.
Probably. I have often thought, you know, because I own some Blu-rays where I don't like the cover art. Yeah. And, you know, I was like, can I make my own cover? You know, with like the original poster or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they just chose like generic face. And I was like, but the original poster is so much better.
Yeah.
You know, or fan art even would be so much better. But I don't want to go to that much trouble. When I was like 20, I probably would have. Sure. But I'm old now. I got other stuff to do.
Right. Well, on the topic of other stuff to do, do you want to pick a movie for next time?
I would like to. I would like to keep in the animation vein.
Okay.
And we talked about this a while back. So I don't know if you've actually seen it or not since then, but if not, I would like to watch the original from like 1987, 86, G.I. Joe the movie.
Hell yes. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I don't know if it's streaming anywhere.
I don't believe it is.
I do own it on Blu-ray.
Excellent.
And DVD.
Oh, wow, okay.
Well, it was a combo.
Oh, okay, all right.
But
less impressed.
The impressive part of that is that it is in two different formats on each disc.
Interesting. Okay.
The Blu-ray is in widescreen as it was originally meant to be. The DVD is in standard 4:3 because that's how most people remember seeing it as a kid.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how I saw it as a kid.
Yep.
Oh, man, I'm psyched to watch this movie.
Excellent.
I fucking love this movie.
But you haven't seen it.
I have seen it.
Oh, okay.
I saw it when I was a kid.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, I fucking love this movie.
Excellent.
Let's do this. I haven't seen this probably since I was like 10.
Nice. I haven't seen this probably since I was like 30.
Okay.
Wait, when did Scott Pilgrim come out?
2012? I want to say.
Okay, so I was probably like in my early 30s.
Okay.
Because for some reason I remember distinctly I bought... Because you and I saw Scott Pilgrim like at a sneak preview.
Yes.
And I knew nothing about it going into it. And came out of it loving it. And immediately went to to Amazon and bought all 6 of the books.
Yeah.
And G.I. Joe the movie on Blu-ray.
Nice. Oh, what a great day on Amazon.
Said by Amazon warehouse workers.
All right, G.I. Joe the movie.
Looking forward to it next week.
Next week, goodbye.
Hopefully,
yeah. I mean, it'll be next week for you, listener.
That is true.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.
Yo, Joe.
Thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. You can subscribe to the show directly at view.guttertrash.net or at iTunes and leave us a review. Visit view.guttertrash.net for email information and links to Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next time on The Viewmasters.